Hey everybody, Pete Warner here and welcome to my kitchen. I think this is the first time we are ever recording in my kitchen, and that is because this will be the first of some little cooking segments we're going to do this week to help you bring a little bit of Disneyland into your home or help you get excited before your trip. So I decided that for our first one we were going to do apple bacon whoopie pies. So let's get started. First thing we're going to do is we're going to make probably the best words in a sentence I've ever put together: bacon brittle. And I was stunned at how easy this is. To do bacon brittle, you're going to need a few things. 2 tablespoons of butter, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and 2 tablespoons of chopped cooked bacon. The other thing you're going to need is this, a silicone baking mat. And this is critical for making the bacon brittle. But we're going to melt butter in a small saucepan over medium heat. So we'll put the butter in there and get that started. So once your butter is melted, you want to start slowly stirring in your sugar. And you want to continue cooking this over medium heat for about 3 to 4 minutes until the whole mixture is a golden brown. Alright, so about 3 to 4 minutes, your butter and sugar mixture should be a nice golden brown. You're going to take it off the heat and you are going to add in the bacon. Once that's kind of stirred in nice, we go ahead and we pour that on our nice silicone mat. That's our bacon brittle, and that's going to sit there and cool for 45 minutes, and we're not going to use that again until the very end. Once we've made our whoopie pies and put all the filling in and everything, that's the last piece to go on, our bacon brittle. So the other piece of the puzzle for making your apple bacon whoopie pies is actually making the whoopie pie part, the cake part. And it's really simple. It's just a regular white cake mix. In this case, I'm using Pillsbury Moist Supreme. And it's a classic white cake, but you can use any white cake mix. So I've already made it up, as you can see. So after you make it in your mixer, take a 1/4 cup of bacon, put it in, stir it up. Now I've got my oven preheated to 350 degrees, which is what these are going to cook at. And one thing you're going to need is this. This is a whoopie pie tin. You can get whoopie pie mats or whoopie pie tins. I chose the tin. And we will have links to all this stuff, the silicone mats, the whoopie pie mat, everything that we're using. We'll have links where you can buy it, make it nice and simple for you to find. And what I found in making these is a really good idea is I just like to take the spoon and spoon a dollop into each spot. And in my oven I found the ideal time to cook these at about 13 minutes. So obviously you're making a top and a bottom. So I'll get 6 out of each of these total, because I'll have a total of 12 spots. I need 2 for each whoopie pie. Okay, so now it's time for us to make the frosting. This is the more challenging part of it. For this, you're going to need 2 large egg whites, a 1/2 cup of sugar, 2 tablespoons of water, 3/4 of a cup of unsalted butter at room temperature, 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of cream cheese at room temperature, and 1 tablespoon of maple syrup. And we start out by putting the egg whites in our trusty KitchenAid that has been attached with a whisk so that we can whip the egg whites, and we want to do that on a medium speed until they form soft peaks. And while that's doing, we're going to head over to the cooktop and start making the sugar water solution that is going to sweeten this. Okay, so now what we need to do is make a little sugar and water mixture. But for this, we're going to need a candy thermometer because we have to heat this to 242.6 degrees or thereabouts. So I'll put my candy thermometer on the side here, and I will put my sugar in. And then I've got 2 tablespoons of water that we add slowly. We're doing this over a medium-high heat, and we just want to slowly add the water to the mixture as we're stirring. And then once I get that all mixed together, what I want to do is put my candy thermometer in. This one has a little alarm that will tell me, tell me when it's at 242.6. But we don't stir. We don't stir anymore. Once we get it all mixed, we just kind of sit and leave it. And so we'll come back when this is at 242.6. Takes a couple minutes. And now the candy thermometer tells me we have reached 242.6, so I can take that off the heat and leave that while we go back over to, shut the hell up, we go back over to the mixer, and we want to get the egg whites back to soft peak. So head on over here. Okay, so once our egg whites are back to the soft peaks, we take our sugar water mixture, and with the blender going at medium speed, the mixer going at medium speed, we start pouring it in slowly, going along the side of the bowl. Okay, so once we pour the sugar mixture in, we let this run for about 5 minutes until the bottom of your mixing bowl is cool, and we got a nice shiny thing going on in here with the egg mixture and the sugar. So that'll take about 5 minutes. Next, we're going to add 3/4 of a cup of butter to this. They call for it to be done in 3 separate little batches, so I have it cut up into 3s here. This is room temperature and very soft. So in goes 1. In goes 2. And in goes 3. Alright, so once we add the butter in, we turn the mixer up to high, and we let that run for 4 to 6 minutes until everything is nice and smooth. And then we're going to add, the recipe calls for half a teaspoon of vanilla, but I put a teaspoon in because I think more vanilla is better than less. Okay, so I have here a half a cup of cream cheese at room temperature that I'm going to blend up. The recipe says to put it in another electric mixer with a paddle attachment. I don't have another electric mixer like that because I don't know how many people have 2 of those in their house. Maybe you do. And I don't have anything with a paddle, so I'm just going to use this, which is not ideal, but it does get the job done. So let's go ahead and whip this up. Alright, so once we've beaten our cream cheese, because it's bad, we take our mixture that was on the mixer and we pour it in. And then we beat for 3 minutes. So I will take my mixer and beat for 3 minutes. All right, and the last step in this, now that we've beaten up our icing or our frosting, is to put a tablespoon of maple syrup. So put the maple syrup in and beat it for another 30 seconds. Now that we have whipped up our frosting, we're going to put it in a pastry bag. Now what I like to use are the disposable ones because cleaning the cloth ones drive me nuts. So I'm just going to pour this into this pastry bag and then get ready to put together our whoopie pies. Okay, so the final part of our little experiment here is actually putting the whoopie pies together. So for that, I have my baked whoopie pies. I have my buttercream frosting that took 8 hours and an amazing amount of effort to make. I have bacon brittle. and I have apple pie filling. Now, you buy a 12-ounce can of apple pie filling, and what I do, because the one I bought came with, it was all like chunks of apple, so I just blended that up so it's a nice, almost like an applesauce. This is going to go in the center. So we take the underside of one whoopie pie, and with our pastry bag, we go ahead and just create a ring on the inside. And I would be more generous with this than less. I put too much apple in the last batch I did, so I'm gonna do a little less apple and a little more frosting. Top it off. Little dollop of frosting on top. And a nice piece of bacon brittle right there. And that is how you make an apple bacon whoopie pie. So now go impress your friends and family. And I have to finish making these because these guys want them in the worst way. So thanks for being with us. Hope you enjoyed it. And send us some pictures of your creation, which will probably look a little bit better than mine. But like I said, you know, I'm no professional. I just love doing stuff like this. And this was a lot of fun. So hope you enjoyed it.